Hi, you got in.
Yes, I'm in. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear. In fact, I got to turn the volume down a bit. Hmm.
Well, I can't see you. I'm going to click share screen.
Oh,
I can't. The host has disabled share screen sharing.
yeah, you should just see me as a participant, but
So at least we can talk anyway.
yeah.
How far are we away from the meeting in time?
Well, it's not till 7:30, so
I don't even know what time it is because they have no clock in here. Wait a minute.
we're at 7.
Oh, wow. Wow. Go. Thank you for letting me know. I'll go do something else.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to turn it down here. Yeah, go ahead, talk again.
Yeah, there's something else going on tonight. Somebody in the Steamship Historical Society is putting on a Zoom meeting.
Right.
They're going to show pictures of steamboats or steamships on Narragansett Bay. But I have my own version of that, and I'm getting pretty tired of it. I've been looking at that stuff for about a month now. And what it is that they have a collection of full photographs taken about 100 years ago. And unfortunately, everybody's got the same stupid pictures.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna get
Right,
out of
that'll
the
work. Right now, you should be able to
now
see.
I can see you.
Yeah, well, I had to turn the video on.
I like your shirt. I
Yeah,
like
it's my
short,
short fast
short
line
fast
shirt.
line shirt.
Yep. Yep.
Do you remember the shirt that I used to have that had great big huge letters on it that said BMT on it?
No, actually, I do not. All right, let's see. Now I got to try and get. I'm going to try. Oh my God. Figure out how to do this. I'm going to try to take this old phone, see if I can set it up on the layout as a webcam for the layout.
I see look like tail lights on the bus over there.
Yeah, the lights are all on them.
Yeah.
Gonna see if I can get. We're gonna fire up Zoom. Join a meeting. All right, now I got to figure out how to get in there. Hmm. Yeah. Mute the microphone. Uh-oh, now I'm gonna be all right, I'm gonna unplug it so I can see what I'm doing. All right. I'm gonna try. No, I don't want to start a meeting. I want to get into one. Yeah,
You have two interurban cars there, and you have a Greyhound bus and a Pacific Electric City bus.
No, it's a Red Arrow bus actually.
Oh,
But
okay, okay.
yeah. All right, I got to get my meeting ID. If I can do this. Do I still have my
I can
email?
remember when I used to go down out to West 69th Street, and you'd see the red and cream buses for the suburban system,
Yeah.
mixing it up with the green and white buses from Philadelphia Transportation Company.
Yeah.
It wasn't SEPTA yet.
All right. So now.
Roman Inc. Transportation Company.
All right. Yeah, don't talk to me right now because I'm trying to do this thing and I can't focus on that. 5112-2720. And then join. Oh, the link. I'm gonna call it layout cam. Let's say join. Now I'm gonna put passcode in, right? Right? Okay, it is 474749. See if this works.
There was no 9 on mine.
I know. And watch the, okay, got it. There we go. Now, can I? Trying to figure out how to make this. Wish I could tell it to use the back camera, but I don't know if I can. Allow. Oh, there we go. Start video. Let's put this in. Ooh, it doesn't really reach. Now I can make it reach. Because the battery won't last the whole evening. I'm certain. All right, so I gotta get that up higher. All right, I'm gonna have to put that down for a moment. Gotta figure out how to get this up behind here. Get it? It's not really long enough. Nothing's long enough. All right, if I wedge it there, it may fall out, but it may not. I just don't know if I have a good place. Oh, you know what? You put it right there. I don't know what I'm getting a picture of, but oh shit. What did I do? Uh-oh. Ah, oh, shoot. All right, let me try this again. It's hard to do this without hitting something, you know? No, I can't see what I've got there. Afraid that's gonna fall over. All right, what do I see?
I see a roof.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's not great, is it? All right, let's move it over. Oh, except then I gotta shoot. It really should be angled down like that. Unless I put it over somewhere else, but now then I have a problem plugging it in. Yeah, it could go there. I'm gonna put it there. Just the cable may not reach. Now we'll unplug that and we're gonna take this down here. We'll put it here. Now the question is, oh yeah, there you go, street view.
Yeah, that's nice.
Now I gotta make it reach though. I gotta get an extension cord. All right. Plug that in somewhere. Oh, whoa. That is, yay. Then we'll just plug that in there. right, now let's fire up the choo-choos, see what happens.
Dave Andrew was on the line.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, from Toronto.
Ah. Okay. That mean I need to get my CLRBL?
You could. Haven't seen one for a while, other than the museum.
I lost my link here. Yeah. It went one way. Oh yeah, it dropped out. Come on. Wait for that to come back up. I'm trouble tonight in here. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It went south on me, didn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Huh. All right, join the meeting. All right, now I need all the information again. Fortunately, I got it on the screen here. 859 5112 2720. Join. Yeah, that's how it's going. I don't know. I can't seem to get into it. Oh. Now I'm just getting stuck with very meeting. This is a very old phone, so not worthwhile. I could use my real phone. I wonder if I got connected to the wrong one. Yeah, I did. Ah, it connected to the ECC instead of my home network. Or
Can I ask Dave Andrew a question?
Sure
Yeah,
thing.
go ahead.
Yeah, up in Toronto, do they still have the tour trams?
Long gone. The
Okay.
yeah, the TDC still has the one whip they rebuilt 2756. Now, when they had the tour tram, we from the museum at Halton County loaned them the large whip 2424, and it ran tour service, I guess, for 8 or 9 years. But they ran the bejesus out of her. I mean, they put one new set of one axle on her when it went bad. But anyway, it's long gone now. And of course, now the system is just all pantograph. So until they apparently they've figured out a way that they have the pantograph on the CLRVs they kept and
Yeah.
the two PCCs, but I've never seen them out, nor have I heard them being out.
I was hoping that you were going to say that they have a PCC that they use on tour tram, but I guess not.
Well, they did in the summer. Well, it wasn't a tour. It was they had a summer thing on the harbor front, which was a freebie. Used to go from the Union Station Underground over to I'm not sure went to the exhibition or just went over to the Fleet Loop and back again. But it was a Sunday only thing, either 4,500 or 4,549. But they're both in pretty good shape, I understand. But they're kept inside, so.
One more question. Do they ever run the Trillium?
Oh yeah. Now, I guess let's see. She was in for a refit about 3 or 4 years ago, but as far as I know, she's out this year. She's a beauty. You've been on her, have you?
I was on there. Yeah, I made a moonlight cruise on her once.
Yeah,
about
no,
20 years ago.
Yeah, no, she's a nice one. Yeah, but Toronto now is, it's almost a major. I don't know. I mean, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing at time.
Yeah.
What they're building what's called they plan to build a new subway line to go from roughly Queen and York Street underground and down and then up through the Don Valley. But so they thought, okay, well, that meant closing Queen Street between the two big department stores. So they were planning to run the cars across the Queen cars, along Queen, then down Spadina and across Adelaide. But of course, they hadn't run across Adelaide for a long time, and part of the track was covered up. So then they found out they figured up. They brought in truckloads of rail. Then they got to look at it. They couldn't put the new rail down because of the water system. So now the Queen car, get a load of this, goes from Queen up Broadview up to College and across College and then back down McCall Street. I mean, if you want to go in a hurry, don't take that car.
That sounds like a tour.
Yeah, you got it. Well, for a rail fan, yeah, she did one. Yeah, but it's almost an excuse to not to run the cars at the time. The 512 on St. Clair is off now. Why they do this and that and the other? That thing took years to build, and then they got it rolling, and then now it's off again. Who knows? Then,
I've never been on the Spadina line since they turned it into a rapid, whatever you said, what do you call it, light rail transit line.
Yeah. Well, they ran the CLRVs on there. Well, it was interesting. That line, when they put it in about 20 some years ago, I guess, they of course it went right down through the university and down the hospital area. So it became a very, very busy line. And that was the first line that they put the the new cars on, the articulated cars on there because of the heavy loading.
Are they called Flexities?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word. They're well, they would appear to be the main car in the Ontario area now.
I haven't been up there for like 30 years now.
Oh, okay. Well, things have changed. I won't say for the better. The the new line they've been building for the last 12 years, the Eglinton Crosstowns. It's an LRT line, underground and above ground. Has been one major overrun and one major issue after another, and overrun money wise, of course. And year was supposed to open in 2020, and this past week, the top guy at Metrolinx, which oversees this stuff, said, "I was going to give you a date, but I can't." You know, anybody in the industry that had that kind of business, you know, one of the things they had was the wrong gauge in spots, if you can believe that. Under too narrow. So no idea when it's going to run. If it ever does run, it'll be good.
There's a new light rail transit line up, and what is it, Waterloo, Kitchener?
Yeah, that runs pretty well. And they're
Leo
planning,
Sullivan showed me some videos that he took of that. It looks really nice.
yeah. It's doing quite well, I understand too. It took a while for the motorists to get used to it.
Well, that's kind of what I was hoping for, that eventually there would be such a thing as an interurban LRT.
Yeah. Well, it's the same base. The cars are made by Bardier, which, you know, haven't got a great reputation for making good stuff. Alstom took them over and took all the plans. And I think they, by and large, have built a better car. But you see on the news the aerial shots where the yard is for the Eglinton. I guess they've got 100 cars just sitting there.
Yeah, all for the days of J.G. Brill and St. Louis, and you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pullman and Coleman and all these old time companies.
Mhm.
Coleman, I should say.
Yeah.
Cummings, Jewett, Niles.
Yeah.
I just got done reading a ponderous book on the Northern Indiana Railway, which was an interurban, which also had several streetcar systems in small city like South Bend, Elkhart, Indiana, Goshen, and Michigan City. Oh yeah, and St. Joseph, Michigan, and all the tracks in between.
Did it connect with the IRR, the Indiana Railway?
Well, it connected with the Chicago's South Shore and South Bend, which in those days was called the Chicago Lake Shore and South Bend.
Okay.
In fact, it competed with them. They ran side by side from Michigan City for a while, but then the Northern Indiana took a detour to go to LaPorte and then back up to Michigan City, so it was always slower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it wasn't built to the same standards that the Chicago South Shore and South Bend was. It was more of a light interurban than the Chicago South Shore and South Bend was really more like an electric railroad.
Yeah. I only saw the Little Joes once.
Yeah. Oh, they were great. They were magnificent.
Oh, I remember seeing that I can't remember where we were, somewhere past Gary, and we went down and that they had that little hum. didn't matter if he was pulling one car or 20, same old hum, back and forward, never hardly a ripple in the change of the thing that was pulling. I'm sure she pulled a real load.
Well, in 1968, I got on the New England States in Boston, and I went out to South Bend. I got off and I took a taxi to the South Shore Line, and I got on the South Shore Line and I went into Chicago. And then I got off and when I got into Randolph Street, I walked up the street and went up on the elevated on the loop, and what came along but the electro liner. So I took that to Milwaukee. Those were
Oh,
the
yeah.
days.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Only ridden the North Shore cars at the museums, never in person.
Well, yeah, and I came back from Milwaukee. I rode a standard heavyweight train with 1920s cars. And I sat up front and, talked with the operator the whole way. There was none of this, no, do not talk to the operator. It was very friendly.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was northbound on the electro liner, I had lunch in the little dining car they had, and I had an electro cheeseburger and electro
Yeah.
fries.
I saw a menu once of the menu for the dining car of the electro liner. Yeah.
And then when it came to Philadelphia and ran from 69th Street to Norristown, the best that I could do was a Bloody Mary and a bag of
Oh,
peas.
yeah. We went down to Philly and we saw them parked. We didn't see them running.
Yeah.
So had to be happy with the Stratford cars, which they're kind of neat to run to. They're right into, and the Bullets, of course.
The Stratford cars were very much like an old-fashioned Interurban.
Well, when they're running, the clicking of the contacts behind you, and the control unit there, click, 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 click all the time.
That's right. They were nice.
Yeah. Yeah, glad I saw all that stuff before it was all changed.
Well, now I'm suffering from I had vertigo. I hope that's gone. And I've got dizziness now. I have to go around with a walker or a cane for fear I'm going to fall over. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to go into Philadelphia and ride trolleys anymore anyway. I have turned into a terribly old man.
Well, listen, the good news is you're still on top of the grass. You're not below it.
That's right. Oh, that COVID-19 really knocked me for a loop too.
Yeah.
Other than a couple Zoom guys didn't want to come. My cousin, that's my cousin, and Dave Andrews from he's from Toronto. No. I guess I'll have to get my CLOs again.
But if they ever get the PCCs running Richmond again, I want to ride on them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I gotta get it out anyway because Ed needs some measure. So he's looking to have any new ones, probably 3D printed. I did Zoom for a while, but then I'm like,
even if I have to go over there and use a cane or a walker.
Go for it. Yep.
Right on them.
Yeah, you can use two canes.
Like set up here, like I have it. So
well, I don't need to do that yet. I hope.
And it would stay connected, but it would come up thinking I was driving the car. So it would say, "You're in safe driving mode."
The only thing is that the neighborhood over there is such that if they saw a really decrepit elderly senior person, I'm afraid they might take the opportunity to rob them.
Yeah.
That's a bad area.
Yeah.
Girard Avenue is not exactly suburban. It's classic ghetto.
Right. Okay.
We were on Verizon. I'm just
Too bad.
However, I don't know that the people over there are as bad as they make out on television.
Yeah, you only hear the bad news. You don't hear the good news.
You only hear the bad news from that's the purpose of news. I think to get everybody to buy papers, and good news doesn't sell papers.
No.
Yeah. Look familiar? Don't have a clock monitor or anything. Have a what? Any sort of clock. The original medical slave.
Well, I'm looking at these videos and I think O scale is where it's at. I mean, you never get this level of detail with
The
HO.
interesting thing is,
Oh, no.
you see the picture.
And
I
N
have?
scale, forget it.
Got that from a
Well,
guy.
with old age and eyesight, always better.
There are
That's right. Always
no
better.
pictures of that from the other side of the river. I can't find it.
Oh, boy.
Same with
I got a public service
You know
car.
what I've been
Never
using?
saw that before.
When I need information, I've been using the street view.
Yeah, okay.
The street view is good. You can look straight up, so.
Is this thing still in place?
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, yeah, in Camden, you can see it from Amazon Boulevard.
Indiana Railroad.
It may, yeah. Well, I could bring it up on,
Because it's in.
Google.
That red car that
Not
just
open.
went by looks familiar. I think
Over-
that's up at the Trolley Museum in Scranton,
It still provided a lot of information, like.
Electric City.
Wasn't until I looked straight up that I realized it had this whole truss thing at the top. You know, and that it was open to the sky.
I've never seen most of these cars.
That's all 3D printed.
Before.
Really, is this all 3D?
Yep, yeah, and
How did you get it?
I made them. I found a very scaled down drawing in an electric industry journal from 1906 when they were building it, right, and had the original plans, but it was very scaled down. Apparently, the original plans, the blueprints still exist. They're at Stanford, and you can only get them in person. So,
Wouldn't you think Camden would have?
yeah, you would hope they have drawings somewhere, but yeah, good luck trying to find something out of Camden, right? So.
You never know. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So what I did was I took that drawing and I blew it up so it was scaled.
Right.
And it was very fuzzy at that point, but I could still follow it. And then I traced all the lines and a drawing, the vector drawing program. And I have them somewhere, I think, one's downstairs. And then I got rid of the picture underneath and I left it on. So yeah, so that worked. We're getting the proportions right and
Remarkable achievement.
yeah, it's been a project. And I've used a lot of 3D printing, a lot of resin. Each one of those, the towers on either side, each one of those is two separate 13-hour prints. And using half a liter of resin. That's about $18 worth of resin for each print. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's,
Yeah, Gary got me started, so. He's been doing it for years.
I've been working, writing rights with DCC, and is it a relay or something?
No, it's the decoder does it.
Oh,
The coder's got, you
Yeah,
can,
just like.
you can put two things on the same function. And then tell them to alternate with each other. One's out of phase, so. That's how you get, but they use that like diesels, they use it for ditch lights and stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
no, I didn't think about that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they had trolley cars in mind when they did that.
No, I was just thinking, you turn your relay, say, the gang that does all the different electronics, has a flashing unit.
Oh, like Minitronics. Yeah.
That's what I do on mine, electronics with relay.
Yeah.
Playing the battery, but.
Yep.
Make the thing work by stop when you stop.
Yeah,
I never even thought of that.
yeah.
I don't use that much.
Welcome to the
I don't
digital world.
use that much DCC, boy,
That's kind of why I went with the ESU stuff, because it's like so programmable, you can do. Some
Boys
crazy things.
boys got a lot of, dash eights and all like that, guy, dish lights and all that.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even on a railroad, I don't know if I buy them.
Cause
I swear, he's got more than I do, and I don't have enough room in my railroad for my stuff.
you weren't at Mike's last month, were you? Were you? Okay.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh my God. It's like, what? you're never gonna get all this stuff before you die. Yeah, I know.
Honest to God, I mean, I always sort of thought, you know, if we fell down in Delaware, I'd go over to the layout where it nice and go picture.
I heard the name.
Yeah, I've known him for over 55 years,
Yeah.
and he scratched both Pepsi cat and everything.
Wow.
That I learned how to do from him,
Ha.
and he
That little section, you know.
Doug,
Hey,
that yellow train, two-car train, is that Indiana Railroad?
oh, no, that's an interstate public service.
Okay, but
Indiana.
that was like Indianapolis to Louisville?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's probably the sleeping car being
Okay.
towed.
yeah, I know, I can't think what it was that I was gonna talk about.
Is that the
sorry.
sleeping car being towed?
Yeah, it's, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's Sleeper. Yep. Here's what I'm experimenting with right now. You ever see John Partridge's, upwards? Who's John Partridge? He was at the.
Not the, what you got on the interstate? Or is
No. He's, he does some 3D printing stuff. He's at the meet. But he's a,
Oh, I
These
think
are
I think I have
public
seen
record.
it. Yeah.
but these are mine. Because
Okay.
he doesn't have any power going through them.
I've seen some online similar to that. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's who it was now.
I'm using these things and then the magnets.
Yeah.
And I test this little loop is here, so I could test pulling a trailer and it works, so.
Oh, what I ended up doing years ago was, I scratched built a St. Louis car,
Right,
long time ago, out of a PE double engine.
right.
We built it to the way the middle door and all, and
Okay.
Jack Spade did the same thing.
Yeah,
Well, he wanted a double head,
hey, Mike.
and we had plastic couplers, you know, the bottom, the valve for plastic. Thomason couplers.
Right.
I just took, put a wire down through the.
Oh, yes.
Inside, he did the same thing, we
Well,
pushed it together.
That's
and-
what's on your.
Yeah, I saw your
Yeah,
wire,
yeah.
and basically that's what I did, you
Yeah.
know, the power of my car, and I put a switch to turn my pole off.
Right.
So I ran off of his power.
do, the rain.
Yeah, it's worse.
Oh, it didn't rain over here? Okay.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know,
Rain.
it's just funny, me looking at him and,
Yeah.
reminded me about how many cars there were.
Yeah, see, it
And
rained
Bill
on the front
Mitchell,
light.
I said,
Well,
almost like everyone was in Mitchell's.
Okay, you
Yeah.
could turn by the.
The cabinet, you know.
Yeah, I just came over there.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Hopkins has that same cabinet.
I know, it's
Yeah.
still, the funny thing is, I got a car from him, I got one a year or so. It's still got the middle sticker on it.
You're the one that got the.
Yeah, that's- I don't-
Yeah, Mike Kilmer,
Yeah.
is a partner.
Oh, okay.
And he's had that in there for years. I don't know if they had to pay him for it.
Yep.
It was like this.
Something.
I saw it finally done about a year ago.
Yeah.
You finally sold it, huh?
Yeah, cause I've been seeing it for like 2 years. And I said,
And,
I gotta have one.
Well, Bill's got-
They're showing up.
Bill's got about 25 feet of cabinet that goes forward to about 8 foot up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And about every 6 inches is a shelf,
wow.
and it's loaded with trash.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a combination of locomotives, and he has a lot of.
Now, it's what
Passenger cars.
Oh, yeah.
Dine-car passengers.
Yeah, they take up lots of room.
They take it about it. Well, he has a lot of them in there. Well, I said, you must have a lot of shit. But I could fill all that cabinet with locomotives only.
Oh, my name is David Nevin. I'm Douglas's cousin.
I think more than I got now, you know, I don't need enough room for my stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I got my care package from Volkswagen.
Did you? Good.
Yes.
Well, I got mine and I got Ed's.
Oh, okay.
I got 6 cars here.
I can see where they. I can take rid of left mine at home. That's it.
Yeah.
Now you get the. I wasn't sure how fast.
Well, I put a couple out just to.
I saw.
I have
made this
one
issue.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how.
The other day. So, we mine just came today.
So I got the decals there,
And
so.
somebody wanted to know, was modeling.
Absolutely. In fact, I intended to, yeah, I intended to get it out and then,
That's
right there, it's good.
fine.
Yeah, And there's another.
Yeah,
video
next
there.
time you don't show up.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I'm gonna get one more and put it over in.
How you doing? Yeah, I can't see. Really cool for that one.
Yeah, not get it.
About
About 2 years ago, I was like that for like a month and a half, because I normally put on it. Oh, yeah, it was killing me.
I took it, put it into the ground. Oh, yeah. I got two back operations and not worth a thing.
Yeah. Come on. It's like, everyone did that to me, that one spot.
It's not like you see them off, you realize how big it is. And there's the public service cars for
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You just look at a picture of them on there and it's, it's another Cowperthwaite grill, you know?
Yeah, it's 12 windows and they're pretty darn long.
Yeah, they're mooses.
Yeah.
I almost got one of those on eBay and,
That's where I got back.
maybe you're about to have it.
We had like 6 of them.
Oh.
They put them all in the same time. This was the first one and I got it. And all the other ones went for more than I.
Yeah, they went, they're rare, so they went pretty high.
Yeah, they were, this was like 3, 5.
But it's a big car, it's worth it. It's like, you know, it's almost internet size, you know, so you kind of go by, you know, volume.
Yeah,
They have the correct.
well, I'm already.
Yeah, that too.
Wow.
In the overall.
I have the same 2 car set, I'm admiring, now, would you put 2 car power?
Now it's a Wagner.
Really? Okay, well, that's what's in mine. Runs super quiet.
Sounds like a dream. Yeah.
Player.
And what LEDs for the markers?
LEDs, yeah, LED lights, interior lights.
Yeah.
It's got sound in it, but if I turn the
Same thing here,
sound on-
LEDs up here. I was thinking of just using fiber optics for that.
Email there.
I just use it, I get those little,
Yeah, the 2mm ones.
they're, I don't know, what's the size?
Oh, yeah, the SMD ones.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
and they're free wire.
Yeah, that's nice.
Although I have 600 wire.
Okay, hobo.
Without
And it's there. Yeah, with a visor, you know,
Yeah.
the magnifier. Yeah, I can hardly see it, you know?
I've had to do that with the Bowser headlight wire on the HO parts.
Yeah.
You know, it's magnet wire. You know,
Yeah.
they're using that, and
Want to see a lot of LED wires? This is my, these are gonna go on the bridge, they were mounted on the post there, one down there.
Yeah.
Good old wax. They
Yeah.
got,
the individually wired.
well, you have to know,
Hey, Chris.
this is bare wire, right?
Yeah.
So that's the ground,
Okay.
they're all in contact with each other, so you can't wire them in series.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you could.
You can't, because they're the ground is shared.
Oh.
They're all connected.
Well, I mean, that's what I would have done with lights. I would have wired them in series and then use a current source.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm using now in my car market. It's the CL2 something or other. It's a 20 milliamp source.
yeah.
And only got to have enough voltage when you input.
I don't, well, I don't have.
That's probably on the light strip. That's how the light strip probably wired.
Yeah, there's some kind of regulation.
Yeah.
But, no, that's how I did Ed's bars.
But it was before now. When did you get the case out?
Well, see,
Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've been using like the project box like that. Yeah. But that's nice. Just aluminum. Plastic roll.
That's
Aluminum. That's aluminum. Okay.
the plate is, and then all the striping was done on the cricket.
Okay.
My wife's cricket. So I
did use some strip.
and if you walk over the stuff, don't,
Yeah.
lay it down and then rub it in.
Yeah.
That's it, so.
Well,
It's sort of foolproof, you know? Yeah, it's like.
I use the Charlie, I use like a base size shipping label.
Okay, and then it's pretty.
Yeah, I just print on it and then I laminate it. I put a
Right.
plastic sheet on top.
Yeah.
And it seems to work really well, but yeah, but sometimes registration is an issue. I think the red
Yeah,
arrow.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't think so long.
Yeah, it's maybe turn down.
Hopefully at the end, I'm doing it, two more cars.
And they ground that away.
I don't wanna paint anymore.
The transfer.
So are, you said you had a decal, they're done?
Did you try the Nebbiolo?
Which?
The Nebbiolo,
No.
when you did stop in the tasting room right before you came in here.
No,
right?
it's-
Oh,
okay, I saw there was an open bottle of Thunderbirds.
yeah. So you went for that, I get it.
Yeah, but we're.
What, no fireball?
I have Fireball.
Remember Night Train? That was.
Night train, oh jeez.
Boone's
You're-
Farm.
That's the one they serve in the dining car on the Broad Street subway.
Yeah.
You're talking about all the brown paper specials, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I just stuck it up on there.
Hey,
Hello, Chris.
is there a camera live? Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, the camera's kind of pointing that.
Okay, the camera's on your laptop there.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can see that's
Okay.
that.
Yeah, all you
Then
can
I-
see is my stomach
Then I
here.
took I'm using my phone as the layout cam. Cool. I tried to use an old phone, but it kept going into like car safe mode.
Oh,
For some reason, it thought I was driving, so it turns the video off.
oh boy.
Now is that recording or not?
Apparently, yeah, it said it was.
Yeah, it says recording, upper left.
Okay. Who else signed in?
Oh, well, Volkmar's on here.
Oh, I vote Mark.
His alarm worked.
Yes.
Okay. Either that or the coffee.
Tony Tooling,
Oh, Tony's, okay,
Yeah.
we can do his presentation.
Christian, Dave Andrew.
Yeah, I got that very nice note that Tony sent. Yeah, well, we didn't get to do the, on the presentation, but unfortunately, I got it about 5 hours after I sent everything to the newsletter to add to the public. You can
One time.
Last meeting.
Yes.
There he goes. Yeah, yeah. I sent a Dornberger.
So
I got 3 sheets out, 3 sets out of one.
It looks like. the number of
calendars?
cards sold.
Yeah.
I'll get them off before I get out of here.
Yeah, the West Penn too? Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
There was unfortunately, less affiliated around.
Yeah.
No, these are the details.
We used to
Okay,
do
there
three
we go.
calendars
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
East Penn too, and I mean, the West Penn too. And
And that does 3 cards, right?
That would do 3 cards, yeah.
Yeah, so I get a third of it back to you then?
Yeah, that's all I got, I have 2 cards.
Oh, okay, I'll tell you what, take the key.
All right. You want those?
Move back to
I'm gonna get 6 calendars.
Six East Penn.
Yeah.
And 1 West Penn.
Did you see the West Penn ones, Rick?
I did not. I haven't got a hold of one guy usually get it.
You still have the,
I may get 3 more again, maybe next month.
Oh, well, that's-
I finally get a hold of somebody.
Oh.
Sarge.
Oh, so, on
Yeah,
One guy that they shows.
no,
see me
Rod,
there,
he's,
so,
Okay,
I don't know if
I'm
he
sorry,
wants
so it's
them.
48, right, so. Okay, so, okay, you need 3 more of these.
No, I'm gonna have to get more for you.
There you go, I think, double check my math.
Yeah, cause it's, he charges what, 40 is free.
Well, 650, right?
Was there?
No, I didn't do that.
Oh, that was in.
That was
VHO,
VHO.
okay.
650.
I gotta find it, I gotta find the instruction sheet came with that stuff. It had color recommendations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
650 for 6 or more, yeah.
Expanded
on West Penn.
that'd be 7.
Matthew did those?
And like I say, I'm probably gonna get
Yeah,
about 3 more,
yeah.
but I don't know, do I
Yeah,
talk
some-
them? Yeah, 18 and 9 months.
But I have another, I have more. Yeah, they have 2 color.
And dues are 25, right?
The
print for me,
That's sitting on a shelf.
70-50.
San Francisco Iron. Ivor said he was trying to get on it tonight, but I think we ready for him, you know.
Well, you should, I think you showed it to me when I stopped out.
She nice to have.
Okay, yeah. I mentioned the Baltimore about, you know, because there's been Facebook about electromobiles, and I said, well, we were thinking maybe an LVT city car would be nice.
Penn here somewhere.
Or the 430.
Yeah, well, either one, you know,
Well, the electric-
the other ones have really been done, you know. That's
The
the only-
electromobile is like, you know, if you already did it.
Yeah, so
He did.
He did scale it up and
Yeah.
something on.
He did yeah, we have to scratch.
Right.
I did scratch.
Yeah. I think I would be scrambling one, but.
and how many are gonna be number 505, right?
Good. Yeah, it sounds good. Negative. Oh, good. You can work quick. You can
Uh,
go back to it right
Oh,
now.
I think I'm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yesterday.
I know Tom Lutter's gonna be here, or?
I'm sorry.
Is Tom gonna be here?
Yeah, he was planning to be here,
Okay.
Yeah.
at least at the board meeting. I thought he indicated that.
Yeah, see, I missed that, but I was screaming at the top of my lungs.
Yeah.
And you got all the action items.
Oh, thanks.
I learned that lesson a long time ago from David.
Never.
Go to every meeting, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I've seen it in the farms, we didn't get them.
Yeah.
And we know. Get them from.
You know, I would, but, you know, hell,
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
go see White Christmas.
Yeah.
Pancake milk set, the whole movie. Not White Christmas,
Holiday Inn?
no, it was White Christmas.
Yeah, well, that's a fake movie.
It was- Yeah, yeah.
Big Crosby and Tommy Danny Kaye.
Yep.
Yeah, Ellen and, they pretty much like the other. It was interesting, you were reading some of, some of the behind the scenes things about apparently how either Rosemary Clooney or Ellen could dance for it.
That's what I'm.
So they basically toned down, the original thing had a lot of dance numbers, and they basically cut out a lot of those for them. So
Well, and Vera Ellen didn't do her own stuff.
Yes.
So,
They were getting it out.
I read about the woman who did this thing, you know?
well, that's what it's like West Side Story. They said, what's her name, wanted to, did it, she was really proud that she did the whole thing, and then they overdubbed her.
Yeah.
Division, so
Yeah.
they move
Well,
around. to rebound.
When they did the national anthem, it came on Wednesday.
That
That woman was lip syncing and she was doing an awful job.
Yeah, yeah, it sounded like, yeah.
It was like completely out of sync, but it wasn't consistently out of sync.
Well, you can't do any worse than Mariah Carey on New Year's.
Oh, yeah.
That had to be, I mean, to the point where she just put the microphone down.
Yeah.
But somehow her voice didn't change,
Don't even try.
don't even try, hey, I'm a diva and I don't care.
Tim Briggs. No.
That really runs nicely.
Yeah.
Now,
It came better, but.
no, I was looking at the couplers.
Oh, yeah.
Put down a little wire thing, the whole, so it would.
That's just to make contact. So it carried, so I can get the overhead back to the trailer.
Oh, for
So
light.
that's so the lights work.
Then I was.
I was gonna use just a very small jumper, like, you have the miniature little things and almost like an air hose, if you get a small enough wire, it's flexible.
Right.
If you give it a little, I was thinking about doing that.
I did that in HO.
This one I'm doing
now. Oh, I don't know where I put it down.
Horsham. This sort of the center of the board, but he's the one I think that brought up.
You wearing the appropriate shirt too. I think.
Yeah.
I'm good. Town is as well.
Put
Whatever.
my couplers down.
And then, but now, after this.
I guess the one for me right now is finding working
Now, the
common
one
and
in
avenue
Avenue.
scale.
That's, so it's the one, it's actually, I think, the first spread that the governor used to have. Oh. Yeah, yeah, but he says the state representative, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just,
Check, 6 count, or 7 count, or 6 and 1.
and I do.
Carol will be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it should be one of each of them? Yeah. I think real time, it's when we did, or we track.
Right. Well. And then you got.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you don't make contact, and where's, that. It's different, sort of, never use the red. Okay, it's going to break a lot at some point. Yeah.
Never did hold the other friend.
I didn't like to get a bit more, or you prove the concept, so. So that's. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably not gonna change much. Well, he had a right start on you being so.
I didn't.
Just the number.
How you know you. Yeah. I might do that, put a little pieces back.
Yeah, like a strip.
Yeah, I saw that they see, you had the barn, you got big millions of them that.
How many rows? Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
And it goes straight.
I think they're gonna have a system.
Okay, but I see this and that, or that, or.
Probably had a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, very, they're very similar.
Are they like that? Is that what they fold down to, or climb up onto the roof? I just have to put my big fold down.
Those.
Yeah, because here's the beginning of here.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you would walk up that way.
yeah.
But here's one here too. You know, so you can see there.
Yeah. There's a long time to do that, nobody ever takes the picture, looking. From the middle,
Right.
so you can never see. In fact,
Well, the only way you can do it is not very carefully there. Then just,
that's.
Yeah, I would have made note of it. Had he moved. I got it, never there from Margaret.
Yeah, that, I don't know. It's. Yeah. Right.
Well, yeah, because you didn't on the outside, yeah.
I mean, it's not insect. Or. And both sides.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. But this is. It's not funny.
You know, it looks like this later, so you get it that way, you know, keep it in the capital.
Well, you gotta do the front and the back too. Whether that's.
Okay, now I'm seeing, now I'm looking at that, and.
No, it was a mass.
And that made it.
You gotta bust out a couple of swimmers for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably, look at the fleet, is probably arranged and missing
Yeah.
about everyone.
Well, I mean, and all these cars were kind of unique.
Yeah.
You know, they all got painted at different times.
Well, this is one that didn't get the steel treatment on the outside,
Oh, is it?
because it's, you can still see wood. 113.
Is the microphone on there?
It is. Yeah.
Hello, Tony.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
What's tomorrow night's BSRA meeting, Tony?
I have no
Frank
idea.
Sprague,
Whoever that green around it.
Frank Sprague, the history of Frank Sprague.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's,
We haven't muted anybody, so.
I'm trying to remember, isn't that, oh,
The man that
presenter.
perfected
I
the
know
trolley
that-
car.
What's his name?
Notes for the
Clark Frazier.
calendar.
Okay.
That's Clark Frazier, yeah.
Presenter.
It's a sliding scale.
Are you able to see Doug's layout here?
I've
Yes.
been watching it with fascination. Yeah.
I've been watching it now for about half an hour.
And then 6:50.
And what amazes
Oh,
me
here's my one.
is how smooth those
That's
cars
right.
run.
Well, some of these cars I've not seen before. I've never seen the Indiana train, the interstate train before.
Yes, you did.
I didn't realize.
You gave
Well,
that you was one of my
It's
songs.
so, the speeds are so prototypical.
I have-
I've never seen the public service of New Jersey car before either.
No, I think that's an SPTC model.
I traded the car I was building, you know,
Yeah.
I started building in 4 months.
Oh, baby.
And
I love
150
that
hours
car.
ago, and I
When they
started-
rolled it out when we were
started
out there
the whole
last
car.
time.
I hated
Wrote that.
it.
when
It
we
wasn't my
first brought
quality
it there.
workmanship.
Boy, that was such a.
I did with
car.
Billy
They just
started building one.
job with it.
I was with Bradley,
And
electrical there.
that whole area there. Well, yeah, it's nice when you're connected.
I got into it, it ain't nowhere
You
near
do,
close,
you know.
so I shit canned it.
Yeah.
The
It's
story.
whatever the museum would love to do if they could. No.
Two
No.
sides and four doors.
Look, they let you out?
Yeah. And, the windows
How are
were
you
all
doing?
separate. They all up and down.
Doing okay. Doing okay.
And it's not a door,
see you.
they were like 27 piece of bread.
Everybody says good to see you.
That's the truck 80 climb.
Don't put it away.
That's the front end.
I got Western Pennsylvania Challenge.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't do that east end.
It's one of the ways to get trimmed. Yeah, one end almost done. I don't have the windows yet.
Cinematic Christmas.
That thing to do, the other end. And start painting.
What are you gonna power? How many?
I got a wagon. I'm a wagon. Yeah, oh, yeah, it's so strong, yeah. HO one already. Built 3 of them, I don't need to build any. This in the box.
Here tonight.
I built this like 50 years ago, it got destroyed in the steps. And then I bought the second one.
I'm hoping to come down on Thanksgiving,
I don't know.
and maybe by that time, the 15 will be running PCCs again.
They're supposed to be.
He coming down, he said.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Whoever was hoping, is that Tony?
Yes, half buses and
Yeah.
half trolley.
I usually ride the Market Frankfurt L
Yeah.
to Broad Avenue and then go downstairs and catch it at that point.
Acknowledge that he won the, haven't seen anything tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got 2 meetings going on here and on the TV. Well, no, it's just that,
Hardest thing.
Tony's here and we didn't, he wasn't at the meet to get his award. We can do that.
Do we have?
Yeah, I thought he has.
He has.
We're gonna read the citation.
Where you're gonna give a little talk about it.
The old thing of the man who needs no introduction.
I know.
So there, I'm not giving one.
You wanna give the talk?
Yeah, just because I'm a smart ass. doesn't mean I have to know.
You're not gonna sing for me, Tony, even though you're gonna get your award tonight.
Say that again?
We're not gonna sing for you. You will get your, it will be acknowledged tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and there's
Detail,
Volkswagen
the
here.
annotations and things like that, it just adds life, you know, like animated.
This is the
signs,
refilming
things like
of,
that.
After Midnight in Paris.
You know, that's. Where I'm going with mine, I might never get there, but that's where I'm going with mine. Long time no see, like a day, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, take your time reading that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
I think we did.
That's all.
That's it.
And the West Penn.
I don't know,
Like when his taillights go out, I think.
Yeah,
I was kind of noticing the correlation between,
well, the lights stay on for a long time, but they get dim.
yeah, I saw that too, you just feel like the super cap in there, so
Yeah.
it's keeping it alive. And
you say that, I don't understand why, especially if you're why, like, Athens doesn't put capacitor in every DCC engine in now, so.
people on us now.
Yeah,
I think they all should be, it's just like everyone's got a flywheel in there now, I think everybody should have a people on it.
Yeah.
Well, what's your cost, you know, when you're making 1,000 engines?
Well, the only thing apparently with some of the decoders, you
be able to repeat it, but sometimes keep lives get in the way of programming.
Right.
So you have to cut it out when you're like.
Which is why I use the.
Tony, when you guys doing open houses?
For their decoders. because
November.
November.
Take itself out. It goes into programming.
I think one of the last.
My club, you know.
The open house season here starts in about 2 weeks.
We have a holiday open house for 2 days.
Yeah, a lot of the groups have a Christmas week.
Blocks, I always monitor.
Understand you got neighbors that I know.
That's why we have it in November.
Yeah, we had an article about people.
I mean, the Benzie guy.
That's the first I've ever heard it.
Well,
Doug, which one did
Chandler?
the bridge over there? Are you building that new or is that being rebuilt?
That's my project, that's new.
That's me. That's.
You can make fun of it today. He said it's already.
I'm gonna knock out that wall.
He just put it in there 6 months ago.
Or I have to
Big layout.
kill Mimi off and
Tear it all down.
reclaim the rest of the room,
Cat area on it. and
which is better solution.
Put it in one of those.
Find someone who paints houses, right?
If you're okay with takeout meals for the rest of your
Well,
life.
at least I know where they're at now.
Better living for spaghetti, ask the man who knows, you know?
Yeah. Well, my cousin's like that. He's got a freezer full of those, you know, like, not like. But
Yeah. Big fan of Marie Callender's, so.
Yeah.
I go next month. to see her.
Popeyes, can't be beat, you get a meat in the box.
I love
They beat
that.
it.
I said, in a year and a half, finding food, but I go.
Even when my wife was alive, I would dinner for it. Sometimes we couldn't figure something out
Year and a half open.
in the oven, and we're good.
Right.
Oh, you're gonna crank it?
I'm happy.
Yeah. Ah,
Hey, well, like I say, a year and a half since they.
No.
Stretch it out, you know,
Oh.
I'm hoping. that-
I heard the bell, I must be that the bridge is gonna open. No.
No.
We'll get
Here
some
I am,
news
looking at it.
and things to send them all the-
That's to keep cars from going in the river.
The heart doctor was told about putting.
Uh-oh.
Except when it does.
Defibrillator in them. And he sent me for a test along, and I went back to him, he said, no, he says, you're actually better than you were last year.
Yeah, here. I think I gotta do a little, judicious filing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told Charlie, I said, yeah, I said, I go about 40 years,
Yeah.
35 years, I get it.
Very impressive.
He used to
Now-
be the-
Now, I'm gonna ask you a real dumb question.
Yeah.
What happens to the wire?
I said, about 3 years since you moved down there.
Slack on that side.
Gonna get slack.
I said, Jerry.
And this is just the jump, right on this side. Just the jump rust, right? On this side. It's just had 2 pins next to
Yeah,
it.
well, there'll be a bridge here that's,
No, I'm talking about the overhead.
that's what I mean, there's like a catenary bridge.
Okay, yeah, so the end is, it'll be 2 fixed
Oh,
pins.
so far here too?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll just,
What else
they'll
they
just
do at
meet up.
2:30 in the morning?
But the trick is gonna be the one on the land side has 2 spans across the top. One of them descends, and that's the gates that block cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
I gotta figure it out, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with it with the railing. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like when it comes off the premise.
I see that. Mr. Tooley over there. You gotta cut that in smoothly.
You gotta cut those supports off. And it's very delicate, yeah, cause there's a lot of.
You got something in there?
No, it's just supports.
Oh, okay, I mean, it looks like some type of ladder.
All this stuff goes like that, it comes off. But yeah, they were kind of a pain. I printed extras, but I haven't bothered to take them off the supports.
This is interesting, like the bridge is in the middle of the truss, you know, like, the truss is below this, you know, and it's not, on top of it, or below it, it's like.
Oh, yeah, all this structure stuff always gets me. There's more structure than there is final
That's
piece.
the way it is.
Was that a wood deck or?
But this is
Well,
probably due to the fact that
I'm
this is
assuming it was.
built by-
Okay.
I haven't found anything.
And he wanted something that's there because we had bigger.
Everything else they built.
I was gonna say, because anything else would be way,
Well, 'cause
much
later
heavier.
they expanded, well, they started using expanded metal, but that came later.
Well, here it would have been.
Are you making it?
Against concrete or. That was my plan, so there's lines, but I wasn't sure if I saw cross lines or not, yeah. Yeah, so concrete block
I
either one.
will,
Sir.
Mr. Mike, how are you?
I'm just fine.
See you.
Oh, okay. See,
There's more detail up here that people can't see, right?
Well, you know what? I was pretty far along with this before I realized that that's what was up there. And
What? It was open.
I don't think the.
Yeah, because this is all you see.
Get the meeting.
Where they're. Oh,
So you get yourself right on the
You guys,
and then point,
look at the.
you know, drag it
Yeah.
straight up.
Yeah, and where's the camera?
It's up there.
I did not realize it.
Now, so I heard, but I didn't know.
What's up?
You can actually do measurements right on this.
Excuse me.
Really?
I'm gonna
Or the satellite, let's read the satellite. view. What's that?
I wanna start the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna-
That's what my reading
Let's do
said.
this.
Okay,
Stop
okay,
it.
I attribute that to
Now,
the
let's get
source.
through the noise competition.
Can you hear us? Chris, One can you hear us? thing about it. Chris Bradley,
Hello.
can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, it's about 2 minutes after 8, so I'd like to get the meeting started. First, I'd like to thank.
I'm here.
Doug.
Yeah, I know, Doug, no, let's wait for him to come around. Doug and Mimi for having us tonight. Thank you very much. This is my first meeting, so I'm gonna stumble across a couple of things. If I forget anything, please let me know. The first thing I'd like to talk to, Charles, how's our finances?
Good, good.
That's it.
All right.
You want the details or
Bert Holmes version.
$43.27 in cash, $5,245.74 in checking account, $17,532.81 in the money market, and $79.79 in the PayPal, for a total of $22,901.61.
Thank you.
We do have the insurance bill outstanding.
Right.
So that's on the credit card. We haven't gotten the statement yet. And also, I've been mailing calendars out and basically using the credit card of the post office. So a lot of those charges haven't been.
And the calendars are here and they look fantastic.
And we also have the 2024 West Penn calendars.
Well, everyone down to the.
So they're available to East Penn members at the same price as East Penn calendar.
Tony, are you on?
I'm here.
Okay, well, Rich would like to speak a couple words about you. And I'm honored to
This has all the.
introduce Rich, who's very honored to introduce you to the club.
Yeah. Tony Tully is a longtime friend of East Penn. He's one of the moving forces at, what do you call yourself now, the Bay State Model Railroad Museum? Yeah, forever it was the Bay State Society of
Society of Model Engineers.
Okay, but terminology changes. Tony decided that rather than coming to Allentown, he'd go for a cruise in the Greek Isles. So I guess at this time of life, you're allowed to exercise poor judgment like that. But while he was drinking ouzo and eating lamb sushi, we were presenting him with the award for lifetime achievement. Those of us who know Tony know how much he's contributed to the traction hobby. He's a painter without peer. He's been one of the moving forces in his organization, a faithful attendee of the East Penn meets, and also a very skillful judge of the contests at our meets. So Tony, you received your plaque already, but receive our thanks and great honor for your service to East Penn and to the traction hobby. Gonna hold it up?
Yeah.
All right.
I must say a few words. I was astonished to receive this award, and even more astonished to see all of the nice things that you put on the plaque. I'm really humbled by what the officers of the club and the membership think of me, and it's been a long time. I'm now 82, and it seems like I've been modeling since 1959. Thanks so much for your encouragement, and I'm really honored and humbled by this award. Thank you.
Keep it up.
We're going to try.
And just let me say this, Tony, I always enjoy things I see from Bay State on Facebook. I follow you guys, and someday I'm going to get up there and take a look at that place.
I think you'll like it. It's
Hide all the good stuff.
it's a really nice city and suburban trolley line mixed in with mainline railroad. And most people that come enjoy even operating the cars, because we always have you run your cars if you bring one. We have both DC and DCC operation. I guess I'm kind of a Luddite because I enjoy DC just as much as I like DCC. It's a lot less complicated. And the layout still has all the relays and all the blocks, so we can run DC. And then we can eliminate all the blocks and run DCC, and also have op sessions. We have up to 6 and 7 members running their own cars, all at the same time, all on the same tracks. So you can actually have realistic headways and so forth.
Wow.
And Charlie Pitts, who is one of the senior members along with me, is now working on a real-time clock, so we can actually run the trolley cars on realistic headways. And we haven't done it yet.
Row and then wait 20 minutes for a third.
Yeah, that helps you time it
Yeah,
better.
we're going to have a clock that, I don't know whether it's 5 to 1 or something.
Do they do it MBTA style with the car, no stops is the first car that comes after 20 minutes?
They don't use no stops anymore.
They just go right to the station.
Next car.
The MBTA right now is at its lowest ebb since it was created in 1964. The streetcars all go at 5 miles an hour in the subway. They've had all kinds of federal inspections that have exposed lack of reporting on track construction, track reconstruction, signal work. And because they don't have any written reports on what the construction was, the Fed slapped on a 5 mile an hour speed limit on everything. It took me 2 hours to get to the club on Wednesday. 2 hours.
You could have walked there.
Actually, if you read the Boston Globe or any of the Boston newspapers, everybody's up in arms. And the only thing that saves them, believe it or not, is that all the passengers are like this on cell phones. And they're so busy on the cell phone, they don't realize the passage of time. Because if you only had a cell phone, they'd be up in arms. It takes so long to get from point A.
And none of the escalators work.
Well, sometimes they do. Sometimes. You'll have to, you all know John Engelman from Baltimore. He came up to Boston a couple of weeks ago to ride the system. And he generally sends a 2 or 3 or 4 page report on all of his travels. He had a real whopper for the one that he, and if any of you get them, you know what he's like in detailing all of his trips around the world. So, but I'm encouraged that we have a new general manager that came from the Long Island Railroad. And I guess the MTA, is it still the MTA in New York City?
Yeah.
That's where he's come from, at least the Long Island Railroad Division. And he has his work cut out for him. The new CRRC rapid transit cars on the Orange Line are less than ideal. They're noisier than the cars they replaced. They have all the bells and whistles and flashing signs and ear assaults, and the doors beep, 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 beep constantly when they're opening and closing. But they don't ride very well. And they've had to send several cars back to the Chinese manufacturer in Springfield, Massachusetts. Only one train of Red Line cars has arrived, and that's a 250 car order. And 120 cars were ordered for the Orange Line, and I think only 70 have been delivered so far. It's a mess. That's all I can say. Boston is a mess right now.
Let me just say this, the one thing, you know,
They beat out Seth at the first.
the Philadelphia teams versus the Boston teams and things like that, but I didn't realize until this week how much Boston and Philadelphia have in common. Someone posted on the SEPTA Facebook page about how up in Boston, the T up there is asking people their opinion on what the color scheme should be on the new trolleys. And I think the winning color scheme was a car that can go, the paint job that can go more than 8 miles an hour, stay on track, and make it schedule.
Yes.
The color scheme they want. And I'm like, you know what? It's same with down here. I don't care what color the paint scheme is, as long as it runs.
What's that?
Hundreds of replies on that. You're asking us for a color scheme.
Because you weren't in here, I didn't think. I thought you were going back in. Well, put something there that won't.
George,
Mute yourself.
You take, mute, George, mute.
okay, Tony.
Okay,
Can't put anything in front of this door.
there were hundreds of replies to the MBTA's request for a color scheme. There were 3, and most of them were, if you can make the cars so they don't burst into flames,
Yes.
if they can go more than a walking pace, I mean, all kinds of answers to it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, we're already once a line, actually one operation.
Okay, well, congratulations again, and thank you for being a great supporter to the hobby and to the East Penn Traction Club. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, do we have any new business? New business? Okay, any old business? Okay.
I was going to say,
What Tony was just saying, any prototype news? I take that as a prototype, Ed?
Volkmar has some model news.
Well, I want to get,
can probably talk about it.
okay, next up is model news, Volkmar. Volkmar, you're on mute.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, can see and hear you. Well,
Okay. Yeah, I just want to ask you first of those, some of you have received your fast line car. And
okay,
hoping that all is going well, and if you have any problems, don't hesitate to ask me. Otherwise,
That looks like an
I'm
OCL
working.
That's an electromobile.
Yeah,
Ooh, very nice.
yeah.
Oh, that's me.
So I have nearly finished the car, including the trolley board and the doors. The doors are inserted. So you have a complete car now.
Very nice.
Now I have to look inside the floor, underbody equipment, And of course, I will make also seats. There were bucket seats inside. So this may be the next O-scale model. As it is a short car, the roof is printed in one part. It's a single part. And the roof is screwed to the body. The body is made of the ends, so we can make the Scranton cars and the Altona cars. Altona cars has a small headlight or
Sandbox.
on the left side, and some different roof equipment. There was a roof use on the Altona car. Otherwise, both cars are totally identical, Scranton and Altona. So this may be the next car. It will take about 6 weeks, I think, to finish all the details, trucks,
Just in time for Christmas.
underbody equipment, seating, perhaps some driving seat and driver desk. I will look about it. Yes, that's the latest news.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Very nice.
It's great to see new models.
And they can be painted 10 different ways.
Yeah. There were liveries. The best known is the white and blue, but there were wartime liveries and some streamlined blue, dark blue, or even black and cream liveries. Maybe about 10 liveries, or 9 or 10 for Scranton, all versions. And Altona has the last two with V on the dash, or without, orange and white only. So maybe there are several liveries. And also printed is the automobile style bumper, is removable. So if you will, you can put it inside without glue and remove it. So it will happen.
Like the Timex watch.
Make sure the end's not removable.
Yeah,
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
yeah. Oh, and you can have replacement parts if you crash it. There's no problem. Put again
You're running in front of Jimmy.
without glue. All comes together. So this is the next project.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Good.
Well, let's see, what did I bring?
Probably
Do I have to go all the way up there?
Yeah.
Actually, I think standing right where Richie's probably be the best.
Richard.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
You go too far up.
Oh,
you
that's
can't
because
see
we
it.
can't stand. It's space-time continuum.
So I just brought along a couple of things here. Here is a new PCC shell with a fully integrated interior, both top and bottom. We were able to get all the handrails on the seats too at the same time. So that worked out pretty well. We printed them a couple different ways. This one happened to have the roof cowling on it.
These are KC cars, right?
These are the Kansas City cars, which are currently being produced in HO by Bowser. And we're working on these. I might have some painted too. So when we talked about that.
And when you say we're working on this, is that your China printer?
Well, let's see, this file was in China, then it went to Pennsylvania, then it went to Pennsylvania, then it went to the Czech Republic, then it went to China, then it went to Pennsylvania, then it went to China, and then I finally got parts. So. Yeah,
So, yes.
There's a lot of different things. It's whoever can do a project for you.
It's beautiful.
And this is
Very nice.
one of the Blackpool cars. It took me about 2 years to eventually get this in my hands. the work is amazing. I mean, it's all brass handrails, all hand installed on the top. It's different than the Blackpool car. It does not have the tower, has the windshields. All of the underbody pieces, the guards and fenders and stuff, these are all metal. And the Philadelphia car was jacked up in the air to get the wider gauge trucks under, so they put in air operated steps. So those had the steps put on. At the same time, another car. This,
There we go. A head-on shot.
this is one of the cars that operates in San Francisco. This one has the split windshield, which would be the later windshield put on the cars, and has different towers. It's been changed to single side operation. All the doors and steps and everything else have been altered. Thank you, George. And then there's another one that's also similar to this one with the single windshield. I was just taking photos of this car about 2 weeks ago. It's now red and cream. And I'm hoping to have that car some available in a couple months. He's taken an inordinate amount of time to build and make because of all the handwork. There's probably a much higher level of handwork on these cars. They're very solid. These are not flimsy.
Not that light either. They got some weight to them.
Yeah. Mike has one. Originally, I think some of these appeared with the tall Blackpool tower on them, and it's since changed. We upgraded the trucks because nobody could ever see the trucks, and I found enough photos and stuff to show all the truck detail on the bottom. And it's just amazing being able to get these with this level of detail.
Well, let me get that.
I gotta get that cord out of the way, otherwise that'd be on the floor. I think they're roughly 10. There was the first prototype had a low side, and I'm not going to bother with that. I'm interested in the ones that ran mostly in the US. I already have people who want them, the blue and yellow version, which was at Trolleyville and now National Capital. I'm sure as soon as some appear in the red and cream, they'll disappear also. And may actually do a Blackpool red and cream.
Ed,
So
what do you use?
White. They were also black and yellow. And there was one that was a reverse color. It was green with white.
Tony has a question.
Yes, Tony.
Ed, what are you using for a power source?
Well, they are not powered, but so some things that I brought along.
We haven't had the chance to talk about it. I have a couple Beetle drives. We'll have to see. Obviously, this is the one that will be probably more successful sooner rather than later because it has more clearance. And we have some of the Beetle drives from over in Australia.
Newspapers.
And also the other option would be some of George Barsky's drives, which of course are all sold out, but I happen to have a supply of them. And that's another totally low profile truck. That's about the lowest profile I think you can find anywhere. I don't know what else you could do. There might be. I couldn't remember if Northwest Shortline, when they made the small motor Magic Carpets a long time ago, had one with a small enough wheel that might fit into a side frame of some kind.
But aren't the wheels are 34-inch?
Yes, they are. They're very tiny. Yep. There's always going to be a compromise when you try to translate the prototype into a model. There is no room. At least I know with, I have at least one open car, or probably more than that, where people have actually cut out the floor. But then again, you couldn't necessarily see that all the time because there was a roof in the way. Now you're totally exposed here. And there's not a lot you can do. You might be able to
Put some people around.
build something up there, the floor comes out. So you could, you know, alter that and hide it pretty much the way we do to something else. It's black. Most people may not see it with enough people in place. I know it's probably the most popular car in San Francisco because I was there 2 weekends ago taking photos. And it was packed. You couldn't get on the car. There was a huge line, and if anybody had the chance of what car to ride, they'd ride that car. So it's a very popular car when it's here.
Or illegal sleeping in it?
Pardon me?
Or illegal sleeping in it?
No, they didn't have that problem there. And the builder is, like I said, very interested in getting all the details right. He did a beautiful job of all the structure on the top of the towers, with changing them from a single a two-ended car to a single-ended car. Also on this one, there's a box here, which is where they put the handicap ramp. And I found out that it doesn't have a side there. It really should be an open box instead of a closed box, because they have to pull the ramp out to lay it down so that they could get somebody in a wheelchair across. But he has the floor properly filled in on this side so that there's space for somebody in a wheelchair, so that they can just roll in and sit there. But it's an interesting project. I'll have a couple more coming in, hopefully before Christmas. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I mentioned these PCC cars. I'm trying to get some pre-painted. And since they were Philadelphia Bicentennial State cars, that's most likely the scheme that we can use. It's going to be almost a clone of what they're doing at HO. I think that would be a nice addition. It would be things that people probably remember more than not. And that always seems to be something.
Was the attractive ceiling in those cars?
Yeah. And Charlie actually gave me some great comments. We were going through a roster. I took one of the rosters and try to make some sense of all the paint schemes and what car got what color, and obviously there's a list of the state names that were on those cars. But then again, you know, which one didn't have the state name on it? And then I think Charlie, you also pointed out that they changed the colors of the red and blue on some of the cars.
Yeah, see, actually, I think I was doing with Bob Hughes, that see the cars became ratty. He went over, he said people were, and I guess they had an account at Sherwin-Williams. And he got the paints that SEPTA had on their account. So they had like the dark blue for the Gulf oil, and they had, I think, the dark red that they used to touch up the ones that were still the original Toronto paint, like
Yeah,
Birmingham cars.
So all of a sudden they went from the red and blue that
He
they
got
had
that
to
red
old
and
red
blue
and
that he was able to get.
Yeah, well, they followed instructions. He went to the store and got the paint.
Yeah.
You know, that
Can you
was.
look at my account?
But see, but I think I was sort of on his initiative.
But I can remember, you know, those cars when they were around, and I haven't been in the area that long. So having cars that people remember.
In your
You know,
reference library, do you have the Bible Elder book,
Yeah.
the colorful years?
Yep.
Yeah. Look at that. That'll show the picture of the original colors, and they have one picture of the one with the darker.
I went through so many photos and so many lists and stuff like that. I spend most of my time
Yeah.
doing historical stuff, trying to, you know, get what paint scheme was with what lettering scheme, what time, so that if you're painting a car, you're painting it the right way. You know, you're not ending up painting it something that's wrong. The first person that's going to look at it say, well, you know, they never had that paint scheme with that letter. Okay.
So
We don't have enough time to-
Hey, on your research, did you find a Pittsburgh Railway 6000 cars?
What about it?
Little streamlined. I'm trying to find out what color.
That's one of the interurban cars?
No,
No, six.
the little city car, I mean, there were two of them, I think, they. Experimental.
Oh, the Oscar Bradley experimentals. Yes, I did a color sample for Volkmar.
No, that's why he got the colors that he did.
I looked at that, I read the instructions, and then it said what colors they were, so I picked some colors off of one of the computer programs, and I said, oh, okay, it's green and black, and the other one was black and green. The one was mostly, was it blue?
Blue and green.
Okay.
Tony told you to weather it, right?
Well, and let's face it, any car that was in Pittsburgh would end up being how many shades lighter in a very short amount of time because of just the corrosive atmosphere that was there. I mean, the red and cream cars ended up being faded red and white.
The orange cars were yellow.
Yeah, that's right. They call them the yellow cars, and really they were supposed to be orange. Exactly, because of the salt. Oh, yeah. When you
Steel mills.
no, you see that one great, there's that one great John Bromley photograph that shows the car coming down the street, and in the back is a mill with 10 stacks, and coming out of the stacks and all this brown stuff, and I can't imagine all the stuff that was there. We had an organist at church who said, "Oh, you live in Pittsburgh now? Oh yes, I used to live there. All my shirts had rubber collars." And I said, "Rubber collars?" He says, "Yeah, because you can take the collars off and scrub the black off, and then you could put them back on your shirt." Okay, I was there in after the Clean Air Act, so I didn't see that. But
Oh,
yeah,
gotta grow up there.
yeah, with the bituminous coal and everybody's coal furnace and.
Actually, my mother-in-law, who had breathing problems as a child in Philadelphia, was sent to live with family in Pittsburgh. Because
They wouldn't notice.
because for whatever reason, her breathing out there was better than breathing in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Anybody else with model news? Okay.
Not quite model news, but I do have a large supply of modeling parts and layout parts that have been donated by the widows of the deceased members to be used by modelers in the club. Jim Boylan speaking.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. Go ahead.
I think.
Since we're talking about electroliners, I was reading back issues of Trolley Talk, and they had a whole series of articles on them. And apparently, one of the electroliners for a trolley line in Delaware.
Electromobile?
Electromobile, yes, electromobile, thank you, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Electromobile, since we're talking electromobile,
Yes.
one of them got turned into a diner. And apparently was there into the 1970s when the article was.
You're talking about down in Middletown Diner?
Yes.
That's not a electromobile, that's a real master
Yeah,
unit.
that was a
Woman that had no electromobile.
Okay.
Now,
I'm scratch building one right
Okay.
now.
right.
But is it still there?
But we have to educate Charles that they looked alike, but they were two different
Yeah,
companies.
the whole front end is all different.
Okay,
The
But it
windows,
kind of had that slanted window post, you know,
okay.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm fine, I wanna learn, but.
and those are also.
it's a
ones-
diner, my brother measured all the measurements, and it was in a Trolley Talk magazine.
Yes,
Back in the 70s,
Yes.
he did that drawing.
is it still there?
No, it's been going for
Oh.
25 years, probably at least.
Okay.
But the Oscar
Went to
Bradley,
scrap along with the other
Pittsburgh cars.
Two
that's
others
someone else's
existing
mark.
400s I know of. There was two other ones, there, one down in Rehoboth Beach is a
No,
summer
no,
home.
there was one that's a beer distributor.
Okay.
Yeah, I took photos of it. You can only see the
Yeah,
inside
I'm
of the outside. They basically took the body and put the one in and put it out like this and made it like that.
And ended up talking with his brother.
Bigger beer distributor.
Anybody online have anything good to the order?
2 years ago, you couldn't talk to anybody other than the one that did it, Billy.
Anybody going once?
My old middle brother died.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
does anybody know why Ken Kidder produced a model of the Houghton County suburban car? Yeah, I actually have two of them, and I decided to do some reading about the actual line. And it seems like such an out of the way place, and it in an area that has very little population, and considering all the other more common areas or better known areas, I was just wondering if anybody would happen to know how that got chosen as a model by Ken Kidder.
No, I can answer that.
Guys, 1 minute.
Alan, I actually had a letter from a fellow who lived in that area who was interested in that trolley line. And he told me that he asked Ken Kidder to have that car made and that he would buy, I think, 10 of them from him if he would have it made. So Ken did. And he said I had one powered by Rich Wagner, and I think there may have been a picture of it in Trolley Talk. And he says, well, I'm still here with this unpainted powered car and the other 9 bodies. He said, do you want to buy them? So I had ended up with them, and somewhere in my files, which I'll never be able to find, I have the guy's name. But Ken would just send a photo and a car plan over. If you had a car plan, that would be a key thing too. But he would just send stuff over to the builders. That actually got made by Kamada. And that was one of the later car bodies, and it's built very well. I mean, it has a very nice clerestory railroad style roof on it. It's very solid, great soldering. And because it was built by Kamada, that's when he had to get a whole bunch of them. He couldn't just buy 1 or 2. He had to buy 50 or 60 or 100. And that's why you'll see a lot of Houghton counties around. But that's why that particular car was done. Is it close to some other things? Yes, it is. It's close actually to probably about a half a dozen properties. I think Norm Hauser painted one up for
Philadelphia East.
yeah, or Doylestown, or one of the lines there. In fact, I think he also had a sample car where he painted one side for that, and he painted the other side a different paint scheme. He says they both look great. So I just used it as one sample car.
If you don't get too detailed, there are actually a number of properties that it could represent, such as Montgomery County, and
Yes.
I mean, and even the Shore Fast Line and Conestoga are ones that, if you don't get too concerned about details, those 3 lines in this area would be considered as railroad roof suburban cars.
Yeah, I think Kevin Farrell told me there might be 1 or 2 lines up in New England that had cars that were very similar. I don't know.
Manchester.
But I noticed variations are that the actual Houghton County cars that these represent have steel sides with rubber rails, but the cars in this area were generally wooden, and also number of windows is a factor, and whether they're arch top or flat top windows.
Yep. Now, interestingly, Stan Richmond also did the cars. And I said, Stan, why did you do a car that there's so many of the other ones around anyway? And I think it was an easy project. He needed a builder that needed something to do, so he did it. But then again, he sent some of the cars back, and they changed them from the all coach version to that other grill with the baggage door. They made them combines, and they changed the slide below that.
It's just a mythical car. I have 2 of them.
Yeah, and that wasn't the way they were built originally. If I'm not mistaken, that he had them sent back and modified because he wasn't selling them. there's still a lot of them around. I just bought one the other day. Yeah,
And-
but it's a very solid, very good car, and I think it would be representative of a lot of different things. You're right, Alan, absolutely. And I did pick up when you said Montgomery traction, because I saw a photo recently, and I said, wow, that looks just like a Houghton County car, and it was pretty darn close.
Yeah, I think well, the fact is with Montgomery County, they're wooden sides and flat top windows. But the one thing about the models themselves is the brass is oxidized to a very nice patina, and they look very nice unpainted.
Okay, the last thing we're gonna talk about tonight is, Charles is going to just give a couple minutes about dues are gonna be due shortly.
Yeah, well, I've sent out the
Yeah.
notice.
Yes.
So the paper notices were in the mail newsletter, and I sent an email to everybody on the email with the.
If you haven't gotten your notice, let Charles know.
And a lot of them have come through. So we've gotten a lot of dues payments come in.
Good. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you again to Doug and Mimi for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being online.
All right. I'm getting the vibrating mode here, you know. There we go.
If you look for an old Charlie location, February 1972. Picture. $9. We got a picture of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't go down there.
Yeah.
Did you remember? Went down, got off work, went around in circles. And every time. Yeah, it's been going probably pushing 30 years. Yeah. It was already flown. It might be longer than 30 years, but it was a long time.
There you go.
I took it down to Middletown and walked and then.
I do not remember.
It was very long to take it back when
No, it's just in front of the arrow one.
Yeah, I just.
Where's that from? Oh,
I've been tracking down.
There it is.
Yeah, I saw, I don't know.
It's great news about. It's where Temple Street cross over Deserves cottages in Door County.
Well, that's.
My oldest brother, like, started building the car out of a house with Bradley.
They don't have Camden.
And he told me, oh, it's really close. And I always wanted to do it, okay, I scratched both 3 HOs. And so I bought the.
And it's still there.
Day.
The bridge is still there.
Started doing it. In 118 hours and then rebuilt it, I decided it still wasn't worth the shit.
You know, you're talking
Didn't
about.
look anything like that for 100.
I never did this one. Well, that never Charlie.
It looks like.
Yeah.
And the front is entirely. And.
Yeah, I'm making progress.
It's not my quality of work. I try to end.
These are.
I don't have to.
Put my name in this. These were $8. You get 8 of them.
I don't
Okay,
recollect.
you expect to do that, Matt?
3 LEDs.
I think what else it could be that it could have been modified. What
They're close enough for government work.
I would think it could, nobody will know the difference, one of those.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they're not there now, right?
It's,
They.
they came out of Connecticut, they were white.
The light.
I think the lights are, they had, they had 20, 30 different metals.
That's what I used a lot of. I mean, I had this picture.
Yeah, I remember the guys having tables, you know, when it was at the. Vertically and then they would have.
And they're like, flip that drawing.
I'm trying to remember. the names.
This is a PDF file. So.
Because that's a lot of things. They should be having a scale size. All these scale size.
Yeah.
Because you know.
Then I imported it into a vector drawing program and I just. And
That's downstairs somewhere.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, how do you know what the roof is?
Street view.
You know, and.
Oh, looking down.
Until a couple weeks ago.
I did chat with him, and it's,
Yeah.
says his.
I would just assume that.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the spots, I mean, it's big, I got to the bottom, basically, yeah. Put it all stored near.
Straight up.
6 months.
Yeah, I'm looking at it going.
It just reminds me that.
I can see the sky.
Put it back together. Well,
Yeah, about it,
start,
every-
I mean, it's gonna be a lot different. I mean,
No,
you'll be able to use
it
this
does.
and stuff like that, but I'm gonna be different.
I don't know if you can get.
Basically, it's like
Start the cars.
twice the size it used to be.
Twice the size?
Hey,
And
that's.
it's actually, I found out today, he said
I was going to
he
Prague.
joined the club and his
I
name
did a
is.
river cruise, started out food section, ended.
I met a guy that knows you.
I did.
Bob,
Yeah, I didn't
he
forget.
lives here from Bob.
Oh, he's down that way.
Yeah, he lived down.
Okay.
Dated must have went.
He got a house now?
Or something like that, I never.
Yeah, same as Bob, but you know, it's
Yeah.
a assisted living back then, you know, you bought the house, but they do all the.
Well, anyway, so you
Oh,
went,
yeah.
how did you like Ron?
I moved there to.
So he's.
Like that?
Ever been there?
No.
Yeah.
We went a good week. It kind of reminds me a little bit
Well,
of
it is,
Pittsburgh.
the new
because it has a
baseball,
lot of
I mean.
city
when you
stuff,
go back
goes
into
up on the hill.
He told me,
And
showed
it's
me
got-
the
but
basement.
Been running up on the top.
Yeah, well, we were in Newtown, which Old Town was built in 1400s. Lesser Town was built in like the 1500s, and Newtown was built in like the 1600s. I was right by the.
It's 75 feet long. Longest.
When we were there, we stayed at a Hilton,
26.
which was over, we could walk.
38.
You know, the building.
That's the size of my
Subway stop.
Yeah, 38.
Or the train, so we hopped on the train, and we just went up to town and stuff like that.
And so it was nice. It was
I'd like to have some years.
Yeah.
As-
In 20, so it's yeah, but it's 30, at 48 with a, you know, 17 by whatever that is.
They're trying to put something.
26 by whatever this is.
That's what we did.
Well, it's
You started
yeah,
in-
man, it's not double. when you
Well, they're gonna
start.
start, I think they're gonna start. making it as part of that go that way.
In 2 years, when you go past the end, so like the one you were on,
Inside what?
which I think the run, it goes from the back.
Probably not. So
But
he's
those
got
of
more,
you
lot more.
who started out.
And then, and you know, that's what
Yeah,
happens.
there's
Pieces
things
aren't
that
necessarily
we
gonna
had
fit.
to do.
You know, they're gonna have to be redesigned, you know, like we're, we sideline, like up and turn, it goes across, it may not turn, it may be all.
Yeah, we're very satisfied.
Well, I guess
It's underwhelmed with,
they got a whole hotline section
Yeah.
in there.
I don't know why.
Well,
It's spread out.
I'm sure he's got the
Go and see.
the design.
Like, we ended up.
There's a whole more full.
We actually rode the subway in the end.
We rode the subway to this one square. And then when we got out, there was a church there, so we walked over to the church, they had an elevator in the center of the church. You could go up to where the ceiling was. And walk around, and you can see how they painted the ceilings and stuff, they did the gold leaf and
Let's say
stuff.
Jeff.
Yeah, so. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, there's that, they have, it's a little bit more open, I'd say.
I don't know, I never knew Kenny Kidder made a HO, Fairfield Model made HO.
We were.
Yeah, Kenny Kidder Fairfield.
Did you
I
see?
mean, Fairfield Model, I don't think it's Kenny Kidder.
Yeah.
And Schönbrunn.
I never saw, Kenny Kidder was O scale.
But,
I knew. Yeah.
Rock,
He did HO.
Did he do HO? Yeah, he's got a, it says a Ken Kidder.
I know, I saw the
Uh,
same photo.
Oh, you saw.
So the person who did that only put down every name that he could think of.
Like, I tried to think of it right there.
Well, that's what I was thinking, it was a great view, because I never seen the paint job. And it definitely looks something like it.
Yeah, I know, side.
Oh, no, that's the way they come.
Side them basically.
So you're dying,
That's.
Yeah.
I don't have the polls.
It was a heck of a lot of.
I don't think
That's how you get.
Because that was
So
all years
when
ago, that's
Michael
all I
was
used to
back,
have.
we're gonna have to look at this because we were gonna.
You know, you had Third Avenue cars.
Which one do we think?
Third
is
Avenue cars and Los Angeles. That
Yeah.
was it.
They were 27.
Right.
They all had a state name. And then as after the bicentennial, They were talking about.
Start the doors out.
State names.
Yeah,
They
the
were
wooden
glass
glass.
and
Yeah,
painted them.
well-
And they painted them a different color, red and blue.
I did away with the,
Right.
yeah, I was using that, what he was talking about, yeah, so
That's what-
Bradley.
that's what-
I bought a bed, it's still we're, you're strapped on 18 hours.
Different box.
And I got.
Well, I found it in England.
now.
I
found 18 in England. So I figured they're not available anymore and.
I hated birdies. Here's the big one.
The one question I had, Prague, I didn't know this until we were leaving, but they have like historic trolleys on every side.
They run the 4-wheelers, yeah.
Yeah.
But then they also run a bunch of.
Oh, yeah, Prague was.
Well, I got both sides done, it's
Oh,
all
you
together.
got my Christmas card that one,
That's how the doors
Yeah,
are.
which was right by the dancing building.
And I
Yeah,
thought,
okay,
this is the incline.
Yeah,
on
we
the
went to
front.
the dancing building.
It's two pieces.
Now, the interesting thing there
Here you go.
is when you walk,
Square
when you walk
And
here.
put it across over, it needs a turn, I cut 3/4 of the way, so there ain't one thing.
Look at all these buildings all along the road.
So what I got done, that's the incline down here, it's
Study of just
16 tubing with two pieces on top. Almost done with one end, the windows aren't done yet, the front's done, top and bottom. It's
Did they
both
have to
sides,
stand with
both
you
done on
green?
both sides.
They wouldn't have, that's.
So let me just,
I'm
where
I'd
we
probably-
went there,
yeah.
Pushing
no matter how old the guy was,
maybe 5 days
gender,
already done.
you know, they all had two things. One,
I have a, what we call a sovereign state.
Oh, so
you turn it over to them.
Yeah.
So what's the max?
Mine is an American
Every
Beauty
government
that,
building
that
has
the
two flags on it,
micromark
the
makes.
Czech flag and.
What was the max?
Really?
Yeah.
What's the max?
So they have two new cars now that say stand with
Next
Ukraine.
Okay,
They're blue and yellow.
see that.
Okay, so I just had two
It was
cars.
out, I put the two feet
Latvia
on there and that's the
to
the
this guy
32nd
in
piece of brass, and I'd like it
He
solid.
said he would paint two cars for me. So I wanna get the two.
I mean, the old days,
I
they
didn't
were
see
gonna
anything
build my
saying
first
train.
range car.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
a
it's
solid-
government building, you
Oh,
building.
old days
So
car,
our
now it's
tour-
free.
tour guide was,
I mean, that's, years ago, I mean, Dad was a perfect example, he had some no
he
scale.
wanted to study political science, but because he wasn't in the party.
And the next thing you know.
He high enough in the party,
These falls off,
which one's lower?
because they put so little bit of solid.
Yeah.
And then what they do,
Even when
they
they
got it all done, they put.
You have to have
glasses
something
on it.
there.
Have had something there on top,
Yeah.
yeah.
Change
So-
the way.
That's not enough time.
And
So like, I remember these are HO drives.
45,
Yeah.
42
The axles are spread.
He had a solid
So
gun, it was about
the
an
other
inch in
thing is, when
diameter.
they first came out,
Yeah,
they had no more of the plastic.
They start soldering.
Right.
It's
So
hard,
it's
it's
not
not-
a-
And I had the same problem with
Yeah,
it.
we need something that-
And you try to solder the
So
marker light on, and next thing you know, the headlight
that
went off.
flat.
Nowadays, I had this soldering.
Screw, I guess.
Very beauty for
Yeah.
probably.
That was a
20 years
whole
now.
different thing because.
I thought
think
American,
did I give you
American
the
beauty was
I actually had
soldering.
open part.
You have a dial, you can turn it up heat.
I had, because trying to.
And then you had tweezers for,
Crazy.
I had two sets of tweezers
on the floor,
the other one
on the side.
alligator stuff to put on the
Yeah.
engine, and at one point they be touched.
But,
And
so what I did is I did what Joel did.
I mean, you could put it back, you could have, you could probably.
Guardrails
Closer, instead of that so much. Well, that's what you're saying, leave it full, you'll burn that wire. man.
Essentially,
Right.
decipher.
And
So they were bearings. Right, and so I have some like that.
That's it, that's basically what it is.
15 years
I
ago.
mean, like right here with the, what I did up here, that's a piece of like half inch, just under a half inch. And that's a piece of, it's like a round.
Well, that humidity got to it, I gotta do.
Well-
I gotta do some of my shit.
But this is right there.
Change it all to
It's
now.
close to it.
Yeah,
Mine
change
is
everything
about
to that.
$400 nowadays. At the micro one.
There it is.
Yeah.
We should take the
And that's the
camera.
trees are there, not trees, but I got trees. And then you got one that just has a one road. And now right there. Yeah, this one.
That's like a spot.
Yeah, that's the other one is.
not quite.
Big.
And this
And this one's nice, you put it right there, and then it's not an 8 inch.
Right, yeah.
Brackets, and like I said, you know, every side of the marker lights on, and no problem. I have a well or six, there is the one.
The subsurface of this is a piece of double sided.
It's similar to that, one
With
there's,
brass.
it's a 61. And then
Brass channel.
Rear
Rear
tube,
tubing.
and you can change the tip to an 8 inch,
Around the
16 inch, you buy different tips.
All sides.
But
Okay.
So that's how you
also-
maintain
they get
the.
different
Structure, yeah.
It's like 700
And it's
degrees.
enough, because you know, it's.
Well, at 700
Flat,
degrees,
degrees,
it's
yeah.
like a spring in there, it breaks contact.
Okay.
Very
When we
cool.
go below 700, they
It's
something
getting
there.
there.
So it's basically the old, say, the old radio shack.
You're not getting
Yeah, well, the old radio shack. Yeah, well, it was constantly on forever.
Right.
And I always said,
This,
I'm allergic
the
to fire.
counterweights.
Yeah,
It's so hot,
Yeah,
you put siren,
They're
it
right.
wouldn't stick to it.
Yeah.
Well, this stuff,
They're
it's
temporary. They're
temperature
just-
control.
They're just,
So I have a welder-
figuring out
60
how much weight I
watt.
need.
Yeah.
So. That's
Temperature
where,
control.
because all I
Yeah,
had
I
to
didn't
do.
do my catenary with.
Right.
I had about it's either a 16 or 8 inch stick. It depends what I got in it.
I had to add.
And it was a green wire. And,
Just because you added.
and then I used it, I was using it going here too.
Is that,
But
there's so much
you can't
leverage.
use it
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's another to a 1 inch piece of bread.
So I'm up to
So it's a
about.
heat, it's just like dad's old thing.
16 channels.
Transfer to a whole piece of bread.
Really?
Right, the whole thing could fall. But when you can soldering station, you just, wherever the two trees are hit, that's where the current is from.
Oh, I have
in between.
between around that.
Between there and there.
Right, in between.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you stay there long
Yeah, that's
enough,
right.
it'll get hot.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah, but it's basically, you get there and there, and put your hand a half inch away and.
I think you use the more plastic.
Yeah, so, yeah, because you use, that's the less than mine, it's just say.
Well, I mean, if
You're doing that, it's all right there.
It would do
It
it
is
flat.
over here, now if you spread it
No,
down, it's going.
with the rest, you don't
So
necessarily.
you can't spread it that far, without
Oh, really?
two separate.
Yeah, because,
I've had that for probably 20-some years,
you're better, the less.
I've had
Less
that about
stuff.
that at least 20
You
years.
remember
ago,
it,
that
right?
was it. I paid like 300 hours.
Stuff you
for it.
have,
300, I think it's
contact on it,
or some
particular
dollar
layer, the better quality you get. Because that complexes. That's trouble.
That you can put on it that.
I'm still not. The other thing is one in angle.
Well, I've always, the
You don't get
WP
as
is
many layered ones.
60 is.
You can see it on here.
I've used
It's on the.
cat area
On
for
that
35
side,
years.
still there, Mike?
Yeah, my original.
When I went anywhere,
The
that's a great, it's still on the line.
HO layout, when we built over third.
It's hard to say. I know it's there, but it's not, because I sanded it down. And I primed it now.
Oh, yeah. I found it. Like I say, it's been dead 40 years. What's the thing like?
Yeah,
That
one is good because you can solder holes, like, you know, solid brass poles.
Yeah.
Easily.
Well,
But we know we can't.
well, 1/8 poles, of course, HO, I use a 61. So an 1/8 brass solid pole. They're about that.
Oh,
And I didn't heat it up.
yeah, 1/8 inch.
I know it wouldn't be.
All my cat, on the layout.
You make any, it's not, right? Yeah. If you're gonna, you're making the cables. And you're using KNS type structure, wire, I'm talking about for the actual cross cabinets.
I bought a cross ones, I use either that, the 20,000, the piano wire, or build something out of I-beam or H-beam, it depends on what I want.
Right.
You know, because it depends, you know, well, you got all the different patterns, I got, Perryville's got one that I made a great big H-beam out of, it's actually in the middle, I can run wires.
signal.
Right, but so for instance, you gotta rule on Wilmington. Which are all excellent.
Well, the poles of Wilmington are actually KNS H Street.
Right.
They're there and Perryville Bridge or any place on H Street. Every place else is
It's
1/8 inch round,
Right.
solid brass pole.
Okay.
It was bronze, really. It's welding, it's welding. And courtesy of Penn Central.
I don't think it's overhead.
So
I go about 300 of this one.
Yeah, I don't think.
Nowadays,
I don't see anything.
those solid poles are like really scarce.
And
Solid brass poles. I mean, those you can buy them from the hardware store. But you might find them in the Home Depot, whatever.
I guess I think Home Depot has 8-inch solid. I think.
Yeah, somebody's buying.
But they're expensive too. She use 8-inch round. It's fairly rigid. I mean, it ain't gonna take a beat that the mind you really whack it and then it's really hard.
Now that's the socket,
The 8-inch, tubing it's not bad.
oh yeah, it's easy to solid. It's all. Disconnect the bracket.
But it's, I'm whacking pretty good. I mean, it's not gonna bang right off the top of you. I mean, I have used, even on HO, I've used like with my Grand Union, the poles with the Grand Union where the stopping blocks are tubing. So you run a wire up through the tubing, go across.
Right.
And she'll cut a little hole and bring a wire out and solder it to the stopping block. The 4 poles, each, or 60 poles at the end of the Grand Union, two, 8 of them, I'm sorry, are all tubing. Everybody, all the other poles in the middle of the intersection are 8-inch size, Grand Union.
Okay, this is very much.
Round tubing, damn style. We gotta whack it.
It's here. Like if it doesn't whack, it's like a thing.
I say it takes a good whack to do it. I mean, you can bend a socket whack. Oh, yeah. They're not made to be whacked. You're making them not to do this. It's like you don't want somebody to whack your truck.
Yes, you do.
30 seconds.
So it recognizes.
And then like some of the guys, they do, they'll use an 8-inch and then the 5/32 and a 1/4 inch. Telescope pull. They're nice, but they're a lot more work and a lot more expensive. I don't even think I have any of them on my list anyway.
Yeah, Charles. Well, you can't really see the telescopic pole in HO.
It's hard. So start where you work with 1/8 inch, and then you're gonna go down to a 16. That's pretty small. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And you don't want, it's one reality. I mean, it's just like theoretically, when you come down, it always come to shove, my patent area, my river is wrong.
Well,
I have round poles everywhere, except for Wilmington and Perryville. And
I use what I call a telephone pole method.
there's a lot of H feeders should be there, but buying H feed is a lot more expensive than a 3
Yeah, so telephone poles, take it on when you want. So.
Come down to it. You also gotta look at it, you're looking at a model right here.
Yeah.
You're not looking at it 100 feet away.
Well, that's also, I always had already, the large movies totally out there, that's not. You know, the guys out from Northeast Florida comes in the show.
Oh, you're talking about the,
Yeah, he uses the prototypical wire. Doesn't work for it.
Well, basically, it's close.
Yeah,
But he can't be on the term. He said,
that's what I told him. I said, look, you can't do that unless you got prototypical switches. That's the only problem. And turnouts.
Oh, I can't think of his name. I know it, I can't think of it. As soon as I see it, I know it. If I don't go by it 1,000 miles an hour.
Chamber or
Not Chandler.
Right, that's what I thought. I got it here, as soon as I find it. Yeah. I know it, I just draw the flag.
North Jersey guy, right?
Yeah. This is gonna be one once, yeah.
I need one more.
Yeah, it's like I say, you go brain dead, you know, with that. It's in here, I was just.
Rubo.
Yeah. Yeah.
He uses the space in which we all use, which is like 16 to 18.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. I got it, I think my longest, on like a curve at Wilmington, where it's perfectly straight, I think is around 20 inches.
That's still in range.
20, I mean, that's still long.
It's not,
My feet.
but it's not 36 inches. See,
Well, no, that one's
you
not-
can't make it 36 inches.
To start with, remember, my layout's a 31.5 inch minimum radius. That's a industry term.
Yeah. It doesn't work on interlocks because you have to have typical switches.
Yeah, we could do it.
For it to look right.
Probably not the best time. But you still can't have the space.
Right.
With
That's
the
what I'm
other.
saying, because the track.
It was kind of one of these shots.
Didn't know how far the pole.
I don't have, as it's
That-
about this.
Like I said, that's the hardest part of the cat.
Yeah.
It's laying out and integrating.
What I can do is.
Right, like Washington DC with all the slip switches. If you saw my layout, where I put scenery down, you would find pencil X's, pen X's, felt tip pen X's, where I kept moving the poles to get the combination I
Because
wanted.
the track. Governs
Governs
where the
how you
cat is.
do the overhead.
Right.
The
It's not the
battle-
other way around.
And we don't have the 20, number 20 turn.
We don't. And they just
Which
started,
makes it worse yet.
they just started making number 10s.
Yeah.
I know.
Charlie Chandler has H, had H.
It was the root for that. Yes.
You know,
You
if
see
you,
what happens?
if you make.
You gotta be the master guard, so it's 6 feet of one, all my switches are 6.
What happens? I did.
Well, I have
need
5
to-
number 4 switches.
A little longer.
Yeah,
yeah, I need to
They're
make-
number 4s, 4 wide and 2 left and 2 rights. Would do my 6 track on. That's the only 4s on my layout. Everything else on there, main line, yard, like switch.
Move to.
That's
That's what I'm doing, you know, I don't have any. But the whole thing is.
But it seems so too slow.
With this space, he has to put intermediate poles. So say he has a big 2-phase pole here. And a big 2-phase pole here, and he has an interlocking. He's putting little small poles into one can handle to catch the draw off line, right? And that's not how it's done.
Again, it comes down to.
Kind of a pain.
That's a good thing.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, it's just like I always said about.
It doesn't look right.
Every track that has a switch, the wire should go to a pole.
Exactly.
Every switch.
There's a switch here.
If you got a switch,
Is a pull off, comes off, and it goes
to
like
the next pole.
Right.
If I did that in Washington, it would look like a spider. Yeah.
Right. And
What I did, 3 or 4 or 5 places, I did it. Yeah. See, where you can see it.
There is a way.
Oh, yeah, that first track comes in and the switch brings it, it goes to the next pole, and then the track goes to the next pole. Maybe the next track over, I did it 1 or 2 places, or maybe I took it to the next floor, cross arm, which is not really right.
Right.
But not even, tell me, other than maybe you, Charlie Chandler, and Liz, who knows it?
Yeah, who's gonna pick up on?
Who knows? Whoever studied this overhead, other than a real overhead.
Nobody's gonna pick up on that, but people are gonna pick up on intermediate poles where they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Bill Ketchum. I mean, I love Bill. I've known him for almost 50 years, maybe over 50 years. More than 55, I guess. And steps. First time I ever saw his layout, he used 32nd, which is, they're still used to this day. I used 32nd originally in the first layout. My second layout, I started using 32nd. When I tore it down, built the one I have now.
See how.
5 yard inbound tracks have 30 seconds. After that, I went to 25,000. And. But if you ever went to those and you look at this overhead, you say, oh gosh,
But there's a lot of places that's wrong. He has places that, but basically what we're talking about, the poles facing on a turn is governed by the rate. I have a 31 and a half inch minimum rating from the four track main. My inside two poles, when they're inch and a quarter off the center of the third track, they're only 12 inches taller than the about 225. No. So I'm about 4 times tighter than I should be. Right, and the outside's like 15 inches.
Right, but you see, you did it right.
Then the backbone will be wrong.
Right.
And that's what, and Bill had the, I know, because I'm a cat area, but I know where they are, I won't tell you, but there's a half a dozen places on Bill's layout, and all 3 wires go around.
Yeah, and they're like.
And if you live, they don't fall down.
Yeah, they'll fall down because they're, there's almost
The
nobody.
backbone has to go, it's just like the track.
The only ones left.
Wire goes that way, the backbone has to go this way.
And pretty much know how.
My wife said, I talk to myself.
Up wire,
The messenger
is straight.
Well, it can't, it has to look like this.
It's straight.
It can't be straight.
It starts out straight, but when you start pulling on it, right?
It
actually goes like this.
You know, it moves,
Yeah.
but it can never be perfectly straight, which is a governing factor.
Right.
But if you have a layout like here, you've got 12-inch radius turn.
Well, it's the same, it's the same.
And the pole,
I haven't
you
experienced
can't
much
have the pull off. You know,
The pull has to be
it
straight.
has to go the opposite way, well, just a little bit. Make it look right.
Yeah.
The straight's wrong, like a little bit, and there's a number of places on Bill that you really look at it, they all 3. Only for a pole or 2.
The turn.
And yeah, but the whole thing, who knew? I mean, there was a guy years and years ago down in Solid City that was layout. And he did cat poles with HO with about 20-inch radius. 225 feet between poles. On turns.
Right.
Well, the wires, they look like Martin, all 3 wires just went around and turn, you know?
Well,
They didn't fall down in reality. And it just comes down to it is you do it to make it look as good as possible. It don't have to be perfect. But
Well, I mean,
you know.
Well, see, think about monorail. Model railroad is made from the box to be compact, because the buildings are never the real width of the buildings. It's all set up, it's all set up to put on a 4x8.
Like my rail cam.
Yeah, so all the buildings you see are all reduced.
It's not quite,
So
not
everything
quite
is
at
reduced.
Mike's level.
So you cannot build anything in prototype unless you build everything in
But
prototype.
like I said, Andy Ruber's the same way. He has this beautiful cat poles that are high. There's he got a wire, the messenger is about 2.5 inches high, you know. Over in Jersey, the messenger is way up there. Down here,
It's high,
between
it's
the
high,
messenger,
Yeah,
the wide
well,
bracket,
like, you know, I have.
the secondary and the.
But I couldn't,
trolley.
you can't.
Or maybe
it's small.
7
So
feet
you can't
is
be very
best.
far away,
Eight
or you can't see
between
it.
one, and then Joe, that's an inch.
So.
Yes, it
He's
is.
got
I
things
couldn't
like
figure
about
out
2
where
inches.
you're
on
gonna
it.
put it.
Yeah,
It's
He's
really.
got a
really
his
good
single
wall
extra
protecting
line.
his
in there.
poles are
Right.
like.
Yeah.
Silver bridges.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But there's.
I finally gave up on that.
Those you got, because I would you did not put them right.
But
Yeah.
on his, because the way things
That
are
worked pretty
on
good,
layout,
This thing, this
It-
stops here.
it's not like a compromise. Where it's
They don't
close,
go on.
it's still too close together,
It
but
can't
it's,
be
it
dirty.
it matches. But if you're gonna go and actually have.
You can do the Tom
full
McDonald,
2
liver oil.
of
Yeah.
length between the two, because you wanna see 4 cars in between each pole. You gotta do everything.
Trying to think, where, I'm probably gonna be black. You think you do that? Yeah, being in California, great. I got about half a dozen pictures with layout.
The short answer is no.
Yeah, I know. I don't need the long answer. I think I wrote it.
I'm not sure.
They can sell a piece of your spine.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't need the whole thing, do I?
Not the pole dance.
Oh, pole dancing.
That's
No,
what
no,
I'm
they-
going into.
This, the old layout of the farmer's house, this had cat area.
They said I'd meet the other guys as bad, so.
Yeah. Okay, okay, well, okay.
You can understand.
So the 8x12, which you can't carry back here, you can't carry down here, that was destroyed down a long time ago.
What are they doing on the highway? Down here?
Up on seventy,
Yeah.
they're widening it all
That's
to
a
three
picture.
in this direction. And they're, before they do that, because there's a lot of.
Oh, it's wired.
Paragraph up because it will.
Well, but you don't have enough right now.
Because
Put it up to show. Well, it will, yeah, it does. But he makes it down to
Mostly
get
they're
off.
doing it.
Bridge off.
Underground
Boom
stuff.
shot. I don't wanna sit there and rebuild my pen. You know, and put it back, and build a new one.
Well, I have. San Francisco.
Is that?
Yeah, I didn't get to that. It's a resin casting that Greg Penn in Australia did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I sent you that.
Yeah, I went to his house. Check out.
Nice layout.
The
The only thing with Ken was that he's
Yeah.
put pushers on trains that are about 14 foot.
Now.
Bernie has a truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like watching it when I was.
Yeah.
I have a.
You know. Corbin going down up here, that's. One of the four.
Right there, yeah, I know, right in the area.
Atlantic City and Suburban.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they bought some Bernie cars a couple of years before they shut down. And they're kind of cool. Even as far as I can tell, they.
You have the Bernie book,
And then, so.
because someone just sent me a PDF of those things, remind me to forward it to you.
I think. He's doing 18. We have to.
You know, I've known more about 14.
Everybody's convinced, so it.
Like, you all know, messenger for stuff.
I am, that's fine. And that's.
But I mean, that's not something you
That's
do.
why.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're from here up, that's probably about two and a quarter inches. Mine is usually about an inch.
I'm assuming one, the orange is the same,
Yeah.
two, there's no.
But you only had, I don't know what that done now, but you only had about 5 feet. Yeah. Well, the four track, they want that track.
I always want to make picture.
Yeah, and such a professional, I mean, that's really gorgeous and really small.
Has the boat, he's got super detailed Catholic poles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a four maybe.
I mean, here it's back, it's done, there's no more.
You know, it's, I got. It has an.
Brackets.
And of course, it's got the tissue insulator.
And it's like, yeah, there's
I
two other cars there, all three cars.
Charlie Chatter used them. Yeah, you gotta realize,
That's something.
right there, there's 11.
Oh, by the way, you picked
Real
up-
thing,
you got the game, didn't you? They played
11,
very well.
22, that's 44.
Yeah.
Insulators
Right,
right
it was
there.
kind of- You're gonna look.
Not counting 3, 6, 9, 12,
You're gonna get like
15,
20.
18, 20, 30, 20, 24. Yeah, there's about 50 of them on that one pole.
How much bees go?
And they go with $4 a dozen or something like that.
Something like that. Your bees are
I'm
what?
sorry.
Ten.
When I get my bees, I get 5, 6 bees on that $3.
Yeah.
And they all was bad. And, you know, but like here, you know, it kind of wears her down, you know, when you run the layout.
Not gonna cheap. Too cheap. Insulators, when you buy them, they come wrong.
There's four.
Oh, yeah.
So now you're losing.
Well, you gotta put it together with another 111.
Someone else is in there, are they? No, I mean.
I wasn't stupid, it did too. But this was, I mean, this was Charlie